Hello, it's me, CGD. This piece is called Emotional and Financial Blackmail. It's based on duress, emotional duress and a financial blackmail, in the sense that once one is hooked up to these computers, satellites, programs and databases where the information goes, it's the intent of the prison officers to extract information regarding anyone who you might have a connection with, who has money that they want to follow the trail of. And the way they do it is by this 24-hour day non-stop process of talking to you, saying, asking you for ridiculous sums of money, unspecified sums, but there's usually a connection to what they're asking you. In my particular case, it is between 20 and 30,000. They believed a certain friend of mine would pay that sort of ransom to have me released from these satellite computer programs, not released from prison, as the perception is. The reason being, they wanted to see where this particular friend of mine had that sort of money. It is their belief that this money is illegal. I know that this money is legal, and when it comes to court, we would testify on that issue. But it doesn't just particularly concern that friend of mine. It could be any member of my family or friends whatsoever. It's about following the paper trail. Once they've established that you've got the money, the prison officers of Brixton Prison, past, present and future, they pursue it again. They ask for more money. And it's about extorting as much money as they can possibly get from you as an individual, and then to see where you go to get more money, who your friends are, who your connections are. They're looking to try and tie up any criminal offence with these people, but the number one they would like is conspiracy to money laundering, be example, conspiracy to fraud, or conspiracy to defraud, or conspiracy in connection to any of these offences to do with money. It's a joke really, but it applies to any and every person who's hooked up to these satellite computer programs. It's ridiculous. I will now deal with the emotional duress. The emotional duress comes in the form of physical torture and terrorism. They literally terrorise you into believing that you've got to kill yourself in order to stop you testifying against your family or friends or any connection that you might have, legal or otherwise. It's the belief of the prison officers that this will go unnoticed if someone commits suicide. But in my opinion, the person has to be physically held down, or physically restrained for them to commit suicide. The examples I would use, which are exception to the rule, are sleeping tablets, things like that. Any particular drug where you can possibly take an overdose would be the exception to the rule. Otherwise, the physical evidence of your suicide would be, instead of a straight clean cut through your arms to your veins and your arteries, it will be jagged because you have no physical control. The same would apply if it was glass or even a broken CD. It would be jagged. Most cuts start off with a straightish line going through. It's only when the skin fibre becomes loosened and the clarity of the cut, because of the bluntness of the equipment, becomes different. But this is still very noticeable when police, doctors look at you. They can assess this very quickly. But it's the knowledge of the suicide attempts, like hanging in that, which is so commonplace, or people trying to suffocate themselves, which are commonplace. And this is what the prison officers of HMP Brixton Prison, past, present and future, are banking on, that someone is emotionally addressed enough to take their life in the belief that if they don't testify against your family and friends, that they'll be alright. But here comes the sucker punch. The prison officers have filmed all this already, and they filmed the person prior to all of this on the reconnaissance, because they have to be hooked up for X amount of time to get the information, allegedly. The real truth is there's files on just about everyone that they can access, 6 billion people, and that's how they put the connections together originally in an illegal operation to get the information. I've been through other bits where I've established a legal connection, but the majority of what this information is illegal. It's the belief of HMP Brixton prison officers, past, present and future, that everyone has a connection in one form or another to criminality. That is not necessarily so. There are a lot of law-abiding families out there, and a lot of genuine people out there that are not criminals. These particular criminals and terrorists is what they are. They literally are terrorising you and torturing you to extract information and then to manipulate it and use it and fabricate it. So your family, your friends, your contacts believe that you've made a statement against them, whether to the police or an in-cell statement to another prisoner, or something was told in confidence to your doctor or a nurse or something like that, or the chaplaincy. It's this sort of information the prison officers are trying to manipulate. They believe they can say that, oh, we overheard the conversation. It's not true. If you're in confidence, prison officers should not be able to have access to your discussions like that. It's a betrayal of truth, and that is a miscarriage of justice, and justice must prevail, and justice will win. Thank you.